Hello there, you beautiful person. This is Chris from TechSpert, and I'm here with Samsung's new Galaxy S10 5G edition. It comes a few months after the launch of the original S10, and if you know anything about this device, you'll know that, of course, it's not just the S10 with 5G added. It does actually have quite a few differences. It's actually bigger even than the S10 Plus, which is already a bit of a behemoth. So what we're going to do now, full unboxing of the S10 5G, get it all set up and run through the hardware and the software, and oh my god, that is an absolute block. And for more on the latest greatest mobile tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. So first of all, of course, you've got your lovely bit of 3-pin plug adapter action. You've got your charging cable, Type-C naturally. You get a dinky little USB adapter as well, Type-C to full-sized USB. Seems to be quite a common occurrence these days. You get those bundled in the box, which is nice to see. And you get some AKG headphones bundled in the box as well. Let's just give these a bit of a go. They actually look alright, to be fair. They've got the nice rubbery tips, so they're not the old rip-your-old lug holes to shreds plastic efforts. They look like they'll do the job quite nicely. And a nice bit of 3.5mm audio jack action there as well, because we do actually have a proper headphone port on the Galaxy S10 5G, which is great to see. And of course you've got some spare rubbery tips as well, hooray. So that's what you get in the box. Let's just chuck all this aside. Right, let's take a look at this absolute beast. So as you can see there, I've got the silver model. It's got the usual shiny glass back. Quite like that actually. It basically just looks like a mirror on the back. So if you want something to do your hair in, or not so much in my case, then that'll do the job nicely. It's Gorilla Glass 6 back and front, so it should prove nice and resilient, shall we say. And it looks like you do actually get a pre-installed screen protector here on the front as well, just for extra resistance. That's always good to see. At 198 grams, the S10 5G weighs the same as the S10 Plus ceramic model, so it's one of the heavier of the bunch. It is the biggest as well at 6.7 inches. This screen is absolutely enormous. And of course, if you're going to have 5G, you're probably going to be using it to stream a lot of movies and things like that, so it makes sense to have that absolutely enormous screen. And thankfully, because it does stretch basically edge to edge, it's, you know, it's still not incredibly cumbersome, but you know, if you want something to use one-handed, basically stay clear, of course. And of course, because you've got that shiny glass rear, hello Samsung Galaxy S10 5G, yeah, it does mean you're going to get fingerprint grease, although I mean, look at that, that's already an absolute state just from you know, not even a minute of fondling. Oh my god, shut up. And as with the standard S10, S10 Plus and everything as well, it's fully IP68 dust and water resistant, so again, super resilient, no worries. Now, although that 6.7-inch display might be bigger than the standard S10 and the S10 Plus even, it uses the same technology. So it is, once again, a Dynamic AMOLED panel, so that basically just means nice punchy colours, nice really deep blacks, sharp contrast levels. It's fully HDR10 Plus compliant, and of course because you've got that sharp 3040 by 1440 pixel resolution as well, it means that everything is just nice and crisp. So again, perfect for your bit of Netflix. So as you can see there, of course, you get a pretty much full view experience when you're streaming a bit of movies on the go. You do unfortunately have these little dinky front-facing cameras poking into the view, but not too much at all. It is it's pretty stunning stuff, to be fair. Gorgeous visuals, definitely one of the best out there right now. And because you dive on into the display settings, you've got full control over the output in here as well, so you can dial it down from vivid to more natural hues if you prefer that, or you can have a play around with the color temperature. You can actually change the screen resolution at any point as well, so I've got it boosted all the way up to WQHD+, but it does start in Full HD+ by default. And you can also have a play around if you've got the, of course, edge screen functionality once again, so you can pull that out and fast access to your favorite apps, favorite contacts, things like that. Navigation bar, I'm going to swap that around because it always drives me nuts that the back ends of the recent apps are always the wrong way around. And you've got the usual likes of the video enhancer mode as well, which, to be perfectly honest, just seems to boost your screen brightness up to maximum and not really do much else, but hey ho, it's there if you want it. And there is full stereo speaker support as well if you are blasting a bit of music, watching a video, things like that. So you've got your bottom mounted speaker, and then your earpiece is also used for the media as well. And just like the S10 and the S10 Plus, you do have an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor built into the screen itself as well. So it's a full 3D scanner, much better than your standard 2D optical scanners that you get on a lot of smartphones these days. It's super fast, super responsive, and even if your finger is wet or a bit sticky or something, it tends to work all the same because it takes a proper 3D image. And then, as you can see, if you power off the device, that fingerprint sensor is basically always active, so you just need to make sure you know roughly where it's positioned, and then just tap your thumb to it, and as you can see, you don't even need to hit that power button, you're straight into the Galaxy S10 5G. And yes, there is full face recognition on board the S10 5G as well, as you would expect. You do actually get a time of flight 3D scanner right there on the front of the S10 5G, though I'm not sure if it actually uses full 3D face modeling or if it's just standard 2D. Let's just get my gorgeous mug registered. Looking a little bit sweaty and sunburnt today, I apologise. As you can see there, you've got plenty of customization as well. So for instance, you can have it just bypass the lock screen entirely when it recognises your face. You can do lift to wake, brighten the screen if it's low light situation, things like that. And let's just quickly test it out now. So turn it off. Just hit that power button, and as you can see, it does a little whoop, whoop, whoop around the camera, and as you can see, we're straight into our desktops. Easy stuff. And I've activated the lift to wake as well, so hopefully if I just pull it up, there we go, straight into the desktops again. Nice. Now the actual software here on the Galaxy S10 5G is exactly the same as the standard S10 and the S10 Plus as well. You get a bit of Android Pie action with a bit of Samsung's own One UI overlay sat neatly on top. So as you can see there, it's Android version 9.0 and then One UI version 1.1. A lot of the features on here are the kind of things you'd already find on an Android Pie device, such as the likes of the digital wellbeing, just tells you exactly how you're wasting your life with your smartphone. You do of course get full Bixby support as well as the Google Assistant as well. I find it a bit excessive having all that, but you do have a dedicated Bixby key here on the left hand side, a quick tap of that, and it loads up good old Bigs. How we love it. The good news, however, is that just like with the standard S10, you can fully customize that Bixby key. So for instance, you can relegate Bixby to a double push and have a single push opening your favorite app instead, which is great to see. You've got plenty of motion and gesture support as well, as you can see there, but a one-handed mode, which is definitely going to be pretty helpful with the S10 5G, 6.7-inch behemoth. And you can either get that activated with a swipe up gesture diagonally from the bottom corner, or you can just tap the home button 3 times, which I actually prefer. I find that a little bit easier. It's a bit more reliable than the swipey. And as you can see there, just shrinks everything down, means you can actually reach that notifications bar, which is great. And just all your apps are nicely shrunken as well. And one of my favorite One UI features is the game launcher as well. All of your games will show up here in one handy menu when I actually download some games, and it just allows you to, for instance, block notifications when you're busy gaming. You've got performance mode, all that kind of shenanigans. And speaking of performance, it's the Exynos 9820 of Samsung's own division, backed by 8 gigs of RAM packed inside the Galaxy S10 5G. Of course, if you are in select markets such as the US or bits of Asia, you will get the Snapdragon 855 instead, and lucky you, because it's generally more energy efficient. That's saying at least you've got a 4,500 milliamp battery stuffed inside this thing, which should hopefully keep you going at least a full day with a full charge. So let's just dive into the battery settings. And the good news is that because you've got a bigger battery, Samsung has also blessed the Galaxy S10 5G with 25 watt super fast charging. So it's faster than, I believe it's a 20 watt fast charging, the standard S10. So it should hopefully fill up in roughly the same sort of time. And you also get support for 15 watt wireless charging, and you've even got a bit of reverse wireless charging as well if you pull down into here and find it. Wireless power share, as it is known. So if you get that on the go, basically you can just share your power with another device that also supports wireless charging, such as, for instance, Samsung's own Galaxy Buds. Really handy if you run out of juice on the go. I wouldn't recommend charging another phone with it though, because it'll take absolutely friggin' forever. I believe it's only like 9 watt charging or something. So yeah, it takes a long time. And as for the storage, you get either 256 or 512 gigs. So I believe this is the 256 gig model. And as you can see there, a lot of it is still available, 225 gigs. So plenty of space for your media, your apps, all of that shenanigans. Sadly, there's no micro SD memory card support. It's only a single SIM slot, so there's no dual SIM support, and no micro SD either. Boo. Which brings us neatly onto the camera tech. And of course, the camera is quite similar to the standard S10 camera and the S10 Plus. But there are a couple of little differences. So for instance, you get the same basic triple lens setup here. So you get a 12 megapixel primary lens backed by a 12 megapixel telephoto and 16 megapixel ultra wide angle. But you also get a 4th time of flight lens here on the back of the S10 5G. That is exclusive to this model. And up front, once again, you have a dual lens setup as you do with the S10 Plus, not the standard S10. And that is a 10 megapixel primary lens backed by, again, a time of flight lens. That time of flight lens is basically just accurate distance model and very good for if you're doing a bit of AR, something like that. Very handy indeed. I've already done a full tour of the Galaxy S10 and S10 Plus camera tech and comparisons and all kinds of shenanigans, so I won't bang on too much in this unboxing video, but as you can see there, it's easy, quick and easy to switch between those three primary lenses. You've got a whole host of bonus features on here. So you've got your live focus, basically a portrait mode. You've got pro controls, so full manual controls, which is definitely handy. I especially recommend doing this at night time. You can get some really nice shots, better than you will with the auto mode. You do actually have a dedicated night mode, at least now, thankfully, which is good because the standard auto mode is a bit crap, to be fair. Food! Do you like taking pictures of your food instead of actually eating it? Well, there you go. And you've got your usual slow motion, super slow motion, hyperlapse and live focus video, as well as just your standard video as well. And you can shoot using all three of those main lenses, of course. And if you dive on into the video settings, as you can see there, defaults to Ultra HD. You can also shoot Ultra HD at a whopping 60 frames per second as well. One of the few smartphones that will allow you to do that. You've got stabilization, really good stabilization. And you can even shoot in HDR10 Plus for some really nice contrast, if you like, as well. And if you are a bit of an outdoor enthusiast, you want to film while you're cycling along somewhere, driving, something like that, then you've got the super steady mode, which tops off at full HD, I believe, but it does a really good job of cutting out the judder and just giving you a nice smooth result. So that's definitely a great and very unique feature as well. And then if we just quickly swap around to that front facing 10 megapixel camera and the time of flight, there you go, there's my haggard looking face. As you can see there, you've got a wide angle mode, which does next to nothing really. It's a bit pathetic, but there you go. And of course you've got the usual live focus, portrait mode and all that kind of shenanigans that you can shoot here as well. And if you dive into the video, I forget which resolution it tops off with, actually, the front face and see full HD. Oh no, it does actually go up to 4K, so there you go. So you can shoot a nice 4K resolution video of your beautiful face if you like to do a bit of vlogging and your viewers aren't easily scared off. And there you have it. So that right there is Samsung's Galaxy S10 5G. So as you can see, it's a bit of a confusing device because even though it's called the S10 5G, there are quite a few differences beyond that 5G support. Of course, it's one of the very few 5G smartphones available in the UK right now, along with the likes of the OnePlus 7 5G and the Mi Mix 3 5G as well. But yeah, there you go. If you want something that is a super premium device that's 5G ready, perfect for streaming a bit of video, things like that, then the Samsung Galaxy S10 5G definitely gets an early thumbs up. I will be fully testing this out. I'll slap my own SIM card in it and give it a full-on test out over the next sort of week or so, and then hopefully deliver my full review. So what do you think so far, this early juncture? Are you tempted by this model, or are you going to go for something else? If you're interested in a bit of 5G action, definitely let us know down below, and please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest mobile tech.